My name is Carlo Matos, and what we're going to be making tonight is an Azorian dish. It's, I guess, stewed Portuguese octopus dish, and it's very simple. It's just octopus, onion, red wine, a little tomato sauce, little red pepper flakes, and a lot of thyme. That's it. It's a simple dish, and that's what me and Sandro love about rustic food, is that simple, but there's something kind of transcendent that happens from the simple 5 or 6 ingredients to when it comes out of the oven. It's like a whole nother universe. I don't know the roots of this dish. I just know that my mother used to make it.
Did you ever do any cooking with her when you were growing up?
No, that's the interesting thing. Never. I never cooked at all. I wanted to eat. I was having just cravings. I just needed to eat some of this food, and the only way I knew to get it was I had to call my mother and say, "Hey, can you give me that recipe?"
Yeah, my name is Alessandro Cornali Lindsley, and I'm going to help cook. I'm going to handle the octopus dissection here. So the process that they do is they slice it open, and this is all full of the octopus guts. And it's really not that big of a deal to clean them out if they're not already cleaned. And then all I'm doing here is slicing out the section that has the eyes, just like a disc. And then the tentacle part, the only thing you got to watch out is for the beak. And I just push, you push either direction, it comes out. It's kind of cool.
And that's the beak.
Yep, that's the beak, and it just pops out, and then you slice it up.
We're one of those cultures where you come from large families, and where the dinner table, the hosting is still as ancient as it can get. I'm not a very ceremonious person. You can probably tell that about my house. You know, it's not really my thing. I don't like empty ceremonies, but one of the things I do like and do believe in, or do wish I had more of, was that dinner table, that hosting, that, you know, welcome to my table, that kind of ancient thing. When I grew up, that was very much a part of our lives, because literally when Salazar was kicked out of the country, there was a big immigration wave in 75, 76, 77, etc. I was born in 77. And so like my dad and like his entire village like moved over you know, at the same time, essentially. And so we would visit each other, and it was all about meals. And Christmas was one endless week of eating, and New Year's was going out at night, bundling up. We didn't do Christmas carols or whatever. We got our instruments and we'd play songs, which of course would become increasingly drunken as the night went along. And literally you could pop in at anybody's house, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. You'd come in and there'd be a table there for you. Starting around Christmas, my mother, we had a room called the parlor, which you were never allowed to sit in or go into or do anything in for the whole year. It was very bizarre, because none of my friends had anything like, well, my Portuguese friends did, but none of my American friends did. So you'd have a whole giant part of your house which you weren't allowed to use. And that's where the chandelier was, that's where the china cabinet was, that's where the statues, if you had statues, my parents had statues. That's where the statues were. It was very odd. It was a very weird place. And that table would be set, and it would stay set. And there would be lots of, you know, pastries and stuff, but you would just eat and play and drink, and you'd stay out all night. My parents are not raucous people, right? They're practical people, they work hard, and it was maybe the only time the whole year you would see your parents let go. You would see them not worried. You would see them hanging out with their own kind and just letting it be, you know, letting it roll. And we got to be a part of that, and I've never really had anything like that in any other context. Let me get a big piece.
What are you looking for?
Well, right now we're just trying to make sure that the octopus is cooked. Tender. No. Not even close. And so that culture is gone, and my only attachment back to those whimsical and interesting and different days is through the food itself. You know? Wow. Well, it has a very signature look, you know, and that's how I knew the first time we made it, besides this amazing smell that we're already getting, that we had done it right. I'm like, okay, it looks right. You know, this is what I remember from being a kid, you know, so, because that was the only way we belonged, you know, that was the only way we really belonged, because they didn't belong in the Azores anymore. We didn't belong in the Azores when we went there. Like, we were just the gringos, you know. We didn't really belong in America either, because we stuck out, you know, a lot of the things didn't fit. Delicious. Let's eat. That was the only time we really felt like this is our world. We're just going to do it. Even as much as it wasn't my world. That was my parents' world, you know. But it was fun. It was beautiful. It was one thing to look forward to. And there wasn't a lot of that growing up.
What do you hope to pass on to him? I mean, how do you want him to relate to this family history?
It's really hard. I mean, that's one of the things that I knew I wasn't going to be able to keep the language. You know, my wife doesn't speak Portuguese. I don't use Portuguese ever. So I think the only thing I can pass down to him are these meals, this food, this cuisine. I don't know if he'll like it. His palate seems more towards the hot dogs and frozen pizza side of things, but he's 4, so we'll see. Be nice if this island culture gets a little bit of attention too. Smell is right. Delicious.